How's everybody doing? I really appreciate y'all coming. We're gonna have some fun. I want some good answers. I got some good tough questions. Some of them gonna catch y'all out of the blue. And but we're gonna. Everybody here is intelligent enough to answer everyone else, so we good. All right. Princella, I want to start with you.
Uh-oh.
Miss Conscious.
Yes.
Even at a young age, and I can appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like, as an entertainer with a voice and a platform, you have a higher level of your standards should be higher as far as your consciousness and leading the people?
Absolutely.
And why do you say so?
Well, because you're a public figure, and when you put yourself out there, somebody's going to be following you. Somebody's going to be looking at you. So it requires you to hold yourself to a high standard. You have to have a moral code. You got to have an ethical code. You have no room for error in the public eye. And if I'm going to tell you to do something as a conscious person, I got to follow my own advice. I can't be seen doing something that I'm telling you not to do.
So would your level of consciousness be because you are an artist or just as an individual?
As an individual, this is who I am, and it only comes out in my music. See, I can't be something in my music that I'm not in my average day, because everything starts with a thought first. It becomes words, and then your words become actions. Your actions become habits, and then your habits become your character. So my words have to be in line with who I am. I can't be saying one thing and doing something else. So it's me first, and then it's the music.
Agreed? Okay. Kyan, same question. Do you feel like you have a higher moral responsibility as far as a leader in the community because you are on a platform, vice president of a company, so you're on the business side as, you're the boss as well as a performer. So.
Yes, definitely. I feel, as Princella said, we have a lot of people that's looking at us. The community is watching us. They want to know what we're doing. But we want to install something positive into the community. And when people watch us, they're going to do the same things. They're going to mimic you because they're following you, especially the teenagers that's growing up. So that puts extra work on the people that's conscious or positive, that's trying to change the community. We have to at all times keep ourselves on a higher level of vibration so we can teach the community and we can put it back into the community.
Mr. Barrett, she mentioned hip hop. Of late, we've seen a lot of friction between the community and law enforcement.
Right.
What do you feel like we could do as an entertainment manager, myself, performers? What do you think we can do to help the message to kind of bridge that gap between the community and law enforcement?
That's a big gap to bridge, actually. As entertainers, I think entertainers need, like she mentioned, change your image, keep your image where it's positive. People that listen to our music, hopefully they will start to change.
The pipeline is there, and they're already listening.
Right.
So
you got so much negativity out there, so it's so easy to be negative when everything you hear on a constant day-to-day basis is negative. So if I'm a young individual looking at these images on TV or listening to music, and all I see is negative images and negative material, 9 times out of 10, I hate to say it, if I don't have the proper upbringing at home, I'm gonna be that way, which causes problems in the legal system. We have the issue that we have with the law enforcement not putting the whole total blame on the youth culture or the hip hop culture, because as we know, it's not just our problem. It's a American system-wide problem that needs to be addressed and be fixed.
Mr. Truscott.
Well, the consciousness question comes down to having a foundation. And unfortunately, as a community, we've lost our foundation. You have black churches that won't talk about politics or they won't stand up for anything unless there's something in it for them. That's my opinion. But when you lose a foundation that big in your community, you have a void. So the gap that you have between law enforcement and our community, that gap has just been getting wider and wider. America was afraid of gangster rap. in the 80s. So what did they do? When crack cocaine hit the streets, your sentence for having crack cocaine was 5 times higher than if you had cocaine. But they're both the same base drug. So what you saw is when people go, well, where's the black fathers and where are the black men in America? They're in prison. And we let them put them there. The system took them out of the community, right or wrong. So when you talk about how do you fix it, it starts at home. You have to have a foundation at home. And it doesn't matter if you're a single male parent or a single female parent, you have to have a foundation. Law enforcement is out there. It's an authority figure that has to be respected. Doesn't matter if they're right or wrong when they pull you over, they still have to be respected. If they do wrong, there's a system for it. But what we've done is give our kids the idea that it's okay to disrespect an authority figure. So, yeah, if you disrespect an authority figure, it's going to bite you back. And that's where we are now. The gap has to be decreased, but it has to be decreased by teaching our youth to respect authority. If authority comes at you and they're wrong, there's a system in place to deal with it. But because we're in a microwave society, they want the end result, but they don't want to go through the process.
Right. I agree with that. I mean, and I think that's a lot of the problem. I want a solution right now. And oftentimes it just doesn't work that way, Like you said, there are channels that you can proceed and work through, but we don't want to do that. It's, well, man, that's going to happen. It may be 3 years from now, but it's justifiable. But I don't understand the guy that want to argue with the police officer right then. A good friend of mine said you might you might beat the rap, but you won't beat the ride. So
Just avoid the ride.
Just avoid the ride. I can agree with that 100%. And Princella, I agree with you. I think as a person heavily involved in entertainment, I take it upon myself to be a better man, a better person, because people do look at me, and they do look at me as a leader in the community and beyond. So it's that social responsibility I take upon myself, and I wish more would, because we need to make that become the popular thing.